Yeah, maybe you check it. Denzi, tips on the way. Yeah, maybe this okay. Yeah. I think okay. Yeah, yeah. Tell this many books. 들어 요사 말을 대야 가라. 이거 뭐 요 말해. 그래요, 말을 가서 이제 뭐 말해. 막 소리래. 통합 좋으나 너랑 합 좋으나 통만 해. 난 접시. 저때 드림도 저는 아메 this okay. 대학 합 좋은 너랑 이거 시켜 맞다. 대학 해 주고 그나 진영 봐. 야, 오케이. 도로에 집에 저 노버라 집에 게 타르와도 탐진 셴베 와드 주바라 집아 탐지제 소 집에 마남가다 냠베 semchen 탐지 대와 탐대 Dungara Chen Yord Lana Meba Yanta Bara Zobe Chanjurimbu Chetoba.
All mother sentient beings, limitless of space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment.
Tichidwe samajiye vardu lunga yizun gevala kor mashi vardu lunga yizun gevala kor. Ina ndege. 야 재밌어요. 너 수키. 재밌어 수키서.
For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From now, a day until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue.
Sangye chodan soje chonan lai chancho vadu dane jasun che dake jinso jinbe sonam che rola penje sangye
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Shadan Nidan Cheve Danyon
May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, requesting, and praying, I dedicate it for the complete awakening of all beings.
Yeah, English, this.
This one in English? Okay. Namo, to the Guru, the utter purity of all appearance and existence, I offer all appearance and existence arisen from the primordial ground. I supplicate you, may the three realms be completely liberated. Please grant blessings to empty samsara from its depths. Lord with 5 omniscient wisdoms, crown ornament, kind one with loving nature, precious protector of beings, heart of all Buddhas, inexpressible by words or thought, I supplicate you from the core of my mind. Bless me from within the state of Dharmata. Bless me to realize this mind, the primordially pure and unborn, as the unfathomable Dharmakaya.
Dorje Chanchen Dele Naroda Marba Mela Choje Gambo Pamo Jwa Jawan Jomba Gaji Dhamma Nama Surwan Zene Yarbo Sajun Great, page 8. Great Vajradhara, Tilopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Pagmo Drupa, and Lord Drikungpa, I pray to all the Kagyu Lamas. From his guru, King Serlingpa, he received the nectar medicine of bodhicitta and brought benefit to all sentient beings. I pray to glorious Atisha. From now until enlightenment, may I also practice the precious lineages, and through this may I perfect sublime bodhicitta and bring benefit to others with my bodhicitta. In all my lives may I never be separated from the perfect Guru. May I enjoy the glory of the Dharma. perfect the qualities of the bhumis and paths, and quickly attain the state of Vajradhara.
Yeah, this Vajrayogini tracks. English, page 1, page 2.
Page 2.
Yeah.
In a single instant I vividly transform into the enlightened body of exalted Vajrayogini.
Om Chandra Rohe Om Om Pe Om Svabhava Shuddha Sarvadana Asvabhava Shuddha.
From within the state of emptiness, a top wind veranda, earth of skulls, is a skull cup bearing qualities, red inside with white exterior. Therein from Virashu and Ma arise the five ambrosial nectars. From Nagokuha and appear five meads which they mark, and the wind stirs, fanning the flames which intensify, causing the contents to melt and boil. From the three syllables light rays stream, drawing in divine wisdom nectar. Through this Maya and wisdom merge, and the nectar becomes a blessing.
Om Chandra Rohe Om Pe Om Svabhava Shuddha Sarvadana Asvabhava Shuddha.
From within the state of emptiness appear the skulls with a hung inside. From that manifest water to drink, bathing water, flowers, and incense, glowing light, fragrant perfumes and food, symbols and the like, they all amass as Samanda Bhadra's offering clouds, filling up the threefold universe. Vajrayogini and the hosts of gathered Dakinis express delight. The energy of the offering clouds is beyond the scope of intellect.
Om Benza Argam Ahum, Om Benza Padi Ahum, Om Benza Bhubi Ahum, Om Benza Bhubi Ahum, Om Benza Aloge Ahum, Om Benza Gende Ahum, Om Benza Nivide Ahum. Garu He Hum Hum Pi Om Subhava Shuddha Arva Dharma Subhava Shuddha.
From within the state of emptiness, a top wind fire and a hearth of skulls is a skull cup bearing qualities, red inside with white exterior. Therein from both it Ashu and Ma arise the 5 ambrosial nectars. From Nagoku and appear 5 meats which they mark, and the wind stirs, fanning the flames which intensify, causing the contents to melt and boil. From the 3 syllables light rays stream, drawing in divine wisdom nectar. Through this Samaya and wisdom merge, and the nectar becomes a vast sea.
Om Ka 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 He Ka He Sarvaya Chara Cha Sabda Peda Besha Za Mata Abba Marandra Kandra Drakene Daya Vandrehane De Samaya Rachendu Mama Sarva Siddhi Me Parayenza Yaten Bang Yaten Kandra Punzata Bervata Enzigarata Madhya Mata Mama Sarva Gardaya Sisu Kambi Shuddha Asahaya Kabhamen Pi Pi Vam Ka 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 E Ka Aye Sarvaya Chara Cha Sabda Beda Beshaza Umada Abba Marandra Kandra Kene Ambalendu Samayendu Mama Sarva Siddhi Me Yazandu Yaten Kambra Demba Punzata Bervata Zigarata Garamata Mama Garava Gardaya Sugam Beshudasa Sahaya Kabalandu Hom Pi Pi Wai Wai Ka 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 He Ka Sarvaya Chara Cha Sabda Beda Beshaza Mata Abba Marandra Kandra Ken Sarva Siddhi Me Parayenza Sa Memba Yaten Kanzan Bervata Zigarata Madhyata Madhya Mata Mama Garva Gardaya Sisuka Peshuddha Sahaya Kabhanedu Om spirits guarding the directions and
local protectors, gods and nagas, spirits bringing harm and rakshasas, phantoms and those beings who feed on flesh, hungry ghosts and crazy making ones, forces who inflict forgetfulness, and swarms of mamos and dakinis. Take this torma as a proper gift, and assist us yogins in our aim to accomplish great awakening, pacify all adverse conditions, along with danger and injury. Help us to successfully fulfill the four enlightened activities.
Oma Sambhane Sambhane Om Om Grihana Grihana Om Grihana Baya Grihana Baya Om
From the four mantras light rays stream forth, spreading to the 10 directions, and in a single instant manifest as a Vajra ground fence, tent and net, Vajra canopy and Vajra fire, without any spaces in between, in the main and intermediate directions appear 8 deities.
Om Medene Banza Bhava Banza Banda Om Banza Chakara Om Bam Om Banza Bansar Om Bam Om Banza Midana Om Kam Om Banza Shara Jwala Dram Sam Dram Om Banza Zala Analarka Hong Hong Hong, with the intention to free all beings, I ever and always seek refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment manifests, with the intention to free all beings, I ever and always seek refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment manifests, with the intention to free all beings, I ever and always seek refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment manifests. Through wisdom, with love and compassion, for the sake of sentient one's welfare, in the presence of the Buddhas here, I dedicate myself myself to achieve thoroughly perfected Buddhahood through wisdom with love and compassion for the sake of sentient one's welfare in the presence of the Buddhas here. I dedicate myself to achieve thoroughly perfected Buddhahood through wisdom with love and compassion for the sake of sentient one's welfare in the presence of the Buddhas here. I dedicate myself to achieve thoroughly perfected Buddhahood. And from the very beginning, my own body, speech, and mind have always been the naturally pure, true essence of Vajrayogini herself likewise. The five aggregates are none other than the five pure Buddha families, and the five elements purified are the five mothers such as Tungche Ma, the fully pure spheres of perception are male and female bodhisattvas, the aggregates, elements, and the perception spheres are pure from the start.
Om
Jatita Parishuddha Sarva Dharma Jatita Parishuddhoham. Above my crown sits Vajrasattva on a moon cushion and lotus seat. His complexion like the autumn moon, draped in silks and strewn with precious jewels. Crossed his hands, hold a vajra and bell, and at his heart on a moon is hung from the 100-syllable mantra. Light rays stream out to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 10 directions, gathering the light of their compassion and absorbing back bright nectar flows from the mantra, entering my crown, cleansing all the defilements and bills. Thus recite the 100 syllables.
Wa yere banza heruga samaya manu balaya banza heruga adino bara de chandre do me baba sudo kayo me baba anurato me baba Subhakayo me baba sarva siddhi me rayeza sarva garma susame zedam iyam guru hum ha 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 ho banga me banza heruga mame heruga go baba ma sama sadhu ahum pe wama yere banza heruga samaya manu balaya banza heruga dino balala di chandredu baba sudu kayo me baba
sarva karma susame sedam yang guru ha 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 vo bangave banza heru ga go heru ga wa ma samaya sadu ha Samaya manu balaya benza heruga dino bara de chande do me baba sudoka anura ko me baba suboka yo me baba sarva se de me bara sarva karma susame sedam yang guru ha 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 ho bhagave banza heruga heruga mama samaya sadhu
From Vajrasaba's own lips he says, your defilements and obscurations have been purified, and he becomes white light, which then dissolves into me. My own nature vividly appears, exalted Vajrayogini, at my heart from the seed syllable emerge light rays radiating out, summoning Vajrayogini and all the Kagulamas and Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all the retinue, come mother before me in the sky. Lama with form like a precious jewel, through your kindness arises great bliss. In a single instant you shine forth, Vajra holder, at your feet I bow. Great heroic splendorous Heruka, utterly pure almighty Vajra, and to you Vajra Varahi of all yearning great passions I bow down. Once again from the seed syllable at my heart goddesses issue forth, offering gifts to the mandala.
Om Sarvadata Sabarivara Argam Soha. Om Sarvadata Sabarivara Bhadyam Pratija Soha. Om Sarvadata Sabarivara Pushpe Pratija Soha. Om Sarvadata Sabarivara Dube Pratija Soha. Om Sarvadata Sabarivara Aloke Pratija Soha.
sarva tathagata saparivara gende pratijasoha. Om sarva tathagata saparivara nivede pratijasoha. Om sarva tathagata saparivara shabda. To the three jewels I go for refuge and confess each negativity, along with every unwholesome deed. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and hold steadfast the awakened mind of Buddhahood, and until I reach enlightenment I do take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and for the welfare of others and myself I generate awakened mind, and by way of this arousal of sublime awakened mind, I now welcome all sentient beings and engage in beautiful conduct, supreme actions of bodhisattvas, for the sake of benefiting beings. May I reach the state of Buddhahood. To the three jewels I go for refuge and confess each negativity, along with every unwholesome deed. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and hold steadfast the awakened mind of Buddhahood, and until I reach enlightenment I do take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and for the welfare of others and myself I generate awakened mind, and by way of this arousal of sublime awakened mind, I now welcome all sentient beings and engage in beautiful conduct, supreme actions of bodhisattvas, for the sake of benefiting beings. May I reach the state of Buddhahood. To the three jewels I go for refuge, confess each negativity, along with every unwholesome deed. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and hold steadfastly awakened mind of Buddhahood, and until I reach enlightenment I do take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and for the welfare of others and myself I generate awakened mind, and by way of this rousal of sublime awakened mind, I now welcome all sentient beings and engage in beautiful conduct, supreme actions of bodhisattvas, for the sake of benefiting beings. May I reach the state of Buddhahood. From the palace of union's great bliss, free of constructs, to you, bliss gone one, Vajradhara, I deeply pray. From the pure palace of non-duality's expanse, to you, the son of all victors, Tilopa, I pray. From the palace of rainbow-like vivid emptiness, to you, the supreme scholar, Naropa, I deeply pray. From the pure palace of my form as a deity, to you, the true gurus of the union transmission, and to you all root and lineage lamas I pray. Please bless me to realize mind as a dharmakaya. From the palace that quells misfortune and obstacles, do you, the oceans of Dharma protectors, I pray. Pacify in all directions negativity and hindrances, granting common and supreme cities. The visualized field of accumulation dissolves into me. Love is the intent to benefit others. Compassion is the wish to overcome their pain. Joy is feeling fulfilled by their happiness. Equanimity is equalizing beings. Love is the intent to benefit others. Compassion is the wish to overcome their pain. Joy is feeling fulfilled by their happiness. Equanimity is equalizing beings. Love is the intent to benefit others. Compassion is the wish to overcome their pain. Joy is feeling fulfilled by their happiness. Equanimity is equalizing beings. Svabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Svabhava Shuddha Avam Baza
Yoga Shuddha Sarvadharma Yoga Shuddha.
Through reciting these mantras, all phenomena subsumed within, subject, objects, dualistic grasping, become transformed into emptiness by reciting Hom Hom from within that state. Comes a Vajra ground fenced tent and canopy, webs of arrows, and outside the scope of that, wisdom flames blaze, and in this protective sphere from me arises a Dharmodaya with its root pointing downward and a base on top. Outside it is blue and inside it is red. In the center of its vast expansive base, from the letter palm a lotus manifests of multiple colors, and from A appears a full moon, and from Ram manifests a sun. Above flattened bomb chin appears my own mind, as a red bomb letter emanating light. From that appears a Vajra-handled curved knife, with a bomb at its hub streaming forth with light, sending out offerings to the exalted ones, and cleansing defilements for all sentient beings, placing them in the state of the Vajra Queen. The light gathers back, and I fully transform, like silk suddenly hoisted into the sky, becoming the form of Vajrayogini. Red in color, clear yet empty, I'm ablaze with the splendor of 100,000 suns. My main face of passion and wrath has 3 eyes, bearing fangs, and on my right above my ear is a grunting sow face, and I am adorned with a 5-skull crown, while half my hair is loose. I bear a necklace of 50 severed heads, 5 bone ornaments, and in my right hand is a curved knife, and in my left I am holding a skull cup filled with blood, while a trident rests in the crook of my arm, pointing toward the sky, reveling in blood with a youth of 16 years. My breasts are plump, and my right leg is bent up, with the left extended in gestures of dance, gaining victory in space over the 3 realms. I dwell at the center of masses of fire that have come blazing forth from my own body. At my navel from Om and Bam is red Varahi. At my heart
heart from Hang and Yom is a blue Yamini. At my throat from Rim and Mom is the white Mohini. At my forehead from Rim yellow Samchalini. And at the crown with Hung a green Samtrasini. On my limbs with Pepet are the smoky Chandikas. All have one face, 2 hands, and a curved knife in the right. In their left a blood skull cup, and they wear crowns of skulls, garlands of fresh heads, and they are marked with the 5 seals. With 3 eyes their hair flows, 3 with tridents on their arms. Right legs bent and left outstretched as they abide in dance. In my secret place as I am Vajrayogini is a red Dharmodaya with 3 in the center, streaming light in 10 directions to all the victors, and their hosts inviting all the Vajrayogini. From all of their bodies limitless forms emanate, dissolving into my crown, and this then generates energy and power in my body. Then from there Red Ali Kali absorbed into my throat, generating energy and power in my speech. From their hearts a stream of bodhicitta then descends, entering my crown, and bliss emptiness arises. Yogini then dissolves into me, and we're not Yoga Shuddha Sarva Dharma Yoga Shuddha. Again from the seed syllable at my heart light rays stream out, invoking the deities of the 5 Buddha families who grant empowerment. Om Benze Kula Sabare Vara Argam Bade Bube Dube Arugen Gende Nevede Shad.
By our having supplicated thus the empowerment deity say, just as when the thus gone ones are born, the ablution rite is requested. With this pure divine water we too in the same way shall also wash you.
Om
Sarva
Sarvata
Tathagata Abhishekata Samaya Shire Om. Thus empowerment is now bestowed. My body is filled and defilements are purified. The excess water overflows at my crown, becoming the crown ornament of Akshobhya. Then the empowerment deities dissolve and are absorbed into me. I now offer clouds of offerings manifested by the goddesses, arisen from my heart till
Om Sarvata Tathagata Banzavarahe Abhare Vare Agam Badinza Soga Om Sarvata Tathagata Banzavarahe Abhare Vare Badinza Soga Om Sarvata Tathagata Banzavarahe Sabhare Vare Bhave Badinza Soga Om Sarvata Tathagata Banzavarahe Vare Vare Badinza Soga Om Sarvata Tathagata Banzavarahe Sabhare Vare Aroge Badinza Soga Om Sarvata Tathagata Banzavarahe Vare Vare Gande Badinza Soga Om Sarvata Tathagata Banzavarahe Sabhare Vare Nevede Badinza Soga Om Sarvata Tathagata Banzavarahe Sabhare Vare Om Ben Zara Ne Hong Hong Bie Om Ben Zara Wan Xie Hong Hong Bie Om Ben Zara Me Dong Ye Hong Hong Bie Om Ben Zara Me Ran Je Hong Hong Bie Om Ben Zara Ha Se Hong Hong Bie Om Ben Zara La Se Hong Bie Om Ben Zara Gen De Hong Bie Om Ben Zara Ni De Hong Bie Om Ben Zara Bu De Hong Bie Om Ben Zara Du Be Hong
essence of all the Buddhas of the 3 times and 10 directions. Om Aham. To the mouth of sovereign Vajradhara. Om Aham. To the mouth of exalted Vajrayogini. Om Aham. To the mouth of great Siddha Tilo Shirzang. Om Aham. To the mouth of learned Master Naropa. Om Aham. To the mouth of Lochin Chogi Lodro. Om Aham. To the mouth of Mila Dorje Gyatsen. Om Aham. To the mouth of Dabo Dabo Shono. Om Aham. To the mouth of Bliss Gone Pagmo Druba. Om Aham. To the mouth of the great Lord Jigongba. Om Aham. To the mouths of root and lineage lamas. Om Aham. To the mouths of Vajrayogini, 5 Dakinis, and all the hosts of deities of Yidams of 4 classes of Tantra. Om Aham. To the mouths of the 4-armed glorious wisdom protector, and all the oceans of Samaya bound Dharma Palas. Om Aham. Through the offerings of gazing and smiling, holding hands, embracing and uniting as one empowerment is bestowed, may we now realize the intended meaning of the Tantras.
Om
Sarva Tathagata Anuragana Sarvabhava Emavoham. By meditating upon the state devoid of identity, meditation on the essence of the deity is achieved. This then fulfills a great offering and simultaneously achieves the realization of all the Buddhas. Om homage to you, Bhagavati Vajravarahi, Arya, mother of the 3 worlds, by others you're unassailed. Great majesty of awareness, for all ghosts you incite fear. Casting down in all directions, you are the great Vajra Queen. Undefeated lady of the Vajra seed, you can't be beat. Your powerful eyes roam about, even poison you dry up. Fearsome, terrifying goddess, the lady who shows her fangs. You shock, slay, and fully cleave, and over them you reign supreme. Fully triumphant one, you stun, paralyze, and stupefy. Homage to you, Varahi, great yogini, queen of desire. Clearly appearing in the form of Vajrayogini at my navel, in a fire red Dharmodaya ring, is is a red lotus, and at its hub a sun mandala with a red bomb, encircled by the mantra garland, which rotates to the left while its seat and seed syllable remain unmoved, as it circles with great force and speed, like rays stream out making offerings to the noble ones and purify the obscurations of wandering beings. The light gathers back and then dissolves again into the mantra garland, causing the bliss emptiness to blaze. Om 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 Sarva Buddha Dakineya Vajrayogini Vajraverodzaniya Om 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 Be 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 Soha Om 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 Sarva Buddha Dakineya Vajravananiya Vajraverodzaniya Om 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 Be 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 Soha Om 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 Sarva Buddha Dakineya Vajravananiya Vajraverodzaniya Om 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 Be 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 Soha Om 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 Sarva Buddha Dakineya Vajravananiya Vajraverodzaniya Om 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 Be 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 Soha Om 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 Sarva Buddha Dakineya Vajravananiya Vajraverodzaniya Om 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 Be 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 Soha Om 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 Sarva Buddha Dakineya Vajravananiya Vajraverodzaniya Om 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 Be 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 Soha Om 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 Sarva Buddha Dakineya Vajra Vajrayogini
Recording in progress.
Sarvam Buddha Rakine Bazavanane Bazamberozane Hom Bebe So 당아도 칼상세 디슈르와 어제지는 어다 제당대 주바디 고르 칼상세 슈르와 어다 주반 주비 초사 공책 남다 주반 말 주들테 초지라 진압 주바 마예와 대 주바 초사비레스 어떤 냠나치나 세냠나 초 마예레스 냠나 제제 말 주들 냠나 진압테 마예레 초 마예와스 어제 어ත네 말아레베 좀 Jundia Lama Matiana, Ranzo Sina Mombai, Jubatan, Lama Dango, Tomato Ranzo, the Chitina, the Mombai, Zomero, what is she? Or that it has not Jubati, or sit in the Tenente, the Harsana Pamuk, the Doju, the Mando Duyano, the Salason, Doji Pamuk, Dojus and other June, the Tonado, the Mayana. Or that is that Paju Zaman Duba Labgro. Paju Sandu, Maju Demcho. Tanimi to la soap and Labgro.
Maju Demcho,
Demcho la soap, Tamaboy rather than Demcho la sortage. Nimi to la sort as the side of water. So some Jude, some chicken, Anna. Jude, some chicken, Nimbo, what is the young name, cousin Doja Pamote, Sherap Raji, or Sherap Young Dani. Sherap Raji, yes. Tondana Chin, the Sherap Yom Dani Tindu, Lord and Debbie, Yet, Yetres, the Konani, Yeshe, Chimbot, Lord and Deba. That had a Chamat hard, Orangi, simply wrote the Chamat hard, Chamat hard, also what in it is. The thing won't want it is on the one.
Dreamer Dagbe.
Or Chamat hard, or Setres. No, Rangi, or Setres. Or that Jedon is on the Pamo said, Tonda Caresana. Or that young Jude something shut up over Jadis in a Pamos, the other them show them the main chung this. What the chung this is.
Gong da Gude Tangma. No.
That Carason, shut up, that Jude something shut up over Jadis in a Pamos and maintained them show you. I made top that it is Pamos the other. Or Chichi.
So, yesterday we spoke. Are we ready? So yesterday we spoke a bit about the lineage. So there was, Drupal Rinpoche gave a bit about the background of the lineage in general. And this is really important because the lineage is such a crucial aspect of practicing secret mantra. So as Lord Jigten Sumgön says, that which has been passed, through from generation to generation, or through the continuum of unbroken lineage, is the most profound dharma. And so this kind of lineage or dharma is one in which the warmth has not declined. The warmth of the blessings has not declined because it has been maintained in that way with unbroken continuity. So there's that. And then Milarepa also says that it is necessary to rely upon a spiritual teacher who holds lineage. If we just depend on ourselves, we'll be lost in darkness. So really, it will just result in confusion. So it's necessary to depend on a spiritual teacher who holds authentic lineage. So now today, he'll talk a little bit about, specifically the background of Varahi, the practice of Varahi. And so we have these different classes of Tantra. The Father Tantra, so an example of a deity from the Father Tantra would be like Guhya Samaja. And then there's Mother Tantra, which, is, for instance, Chakra Samvara, and then many others, belong to these categories too, but these are just examples. And then non-dual Tantra, an example of this would be Kala Chakra. And so Vajrayogini is like the essence of all tantras. She's the innermost heart essence because she is the nature of wisdom. She's the embodiment of wisdom. And so the meaning of Varahi is really, it transcends the intellect. It's beyond the realm of the conceptual. So she is the nature of the primordial awareness, which is the true nature of mind, or suchness. And so this is the essence of awareness, the true nature of the mind, which is completely free of any stain, the nature that is the natural clear light luminosity. And now Vajrayogini or Vajravarahi is really the essence of all the classes of Tantra, but in particular she comes from, like Pagmo, the name, and in particular this emanation is most associated with Chakra Samvara, so Mother Tantra. So the name of Varahi comes from Chakra Samvara.
다 강자 안보 람랭키 냠나치 하는 거죠. 안보 라지 강자 파몽 온중 세주제도 파몽 온중
온중
됐어. 이나는 가려서나 안보 라지 강자라스 안보 랍 강자요로 라지 남다 파몽데스 라지 나바타베 파몽데요레스 안보 랭키 강자라 조바다이 파몽데스 조바닥 다삼 파몽데 안본 탐에 강사라 총바 다이 다기 방모다 버제 인가조 다라고 들으세 동야오네 들으서봐 방모 댄스 와테네 다 라지 남다 방모데 가르세나 라지 남다 방모데 초지고이 뭐 초근고 그래서 어떤 냠나지나 다 쪽상지 야 저저데 태송미스 저노 그래서 때 조바 다이 방모데 가르세나
테스코 산지 대좀메토
조바 다이 방모데 롱초 쪽근고 그래서 때 인도 다바 조사 냠나치나 저저 태송미스 라도
데 산지고 반토
산지 컴반 초바토 그래서 송바 다이 방모데 가르사 줄근고 그래 주베고 뭐 대한 다바 조스 냠나치나 다지랑 가서 다바 조스 마모데 냠나치도 와 되게 저저한테 태송고 말에 송도
So there are the different kind of levels or capacities of practicing Vajravarahi, and this is stated in the Varahi Tantra of the manifest, known as manifest Varahi. So it is said that somebody of highest capacity relies on the Varahi that is the completely pure essence, the completely pure, completely perfect essence. And one of middling capacity relies on the Varahi, which is the sound that is uttered, the Varahi of sound, spoken sound. And the practitioner of lesser capacity relies on the Varahi of symbol. And so what is meant by the one who of the highest capacity relying on Varahi as the nature of the completely pure essence. So this is the essence of the Dharmakaya. And so it is said that by practicing this for 6 months, one can attain liberation and the state of full awakening without any doubt. And then to rely on the Varahi that is the nature of sound or spoken sound, then this is the essence of the Sambhogakaya form, and to practice in this way for 6 months also leads to liberation and full awakening. And to rely on Varahi as a symbol is the Nirmanakaya, and likewise practicing this for 6 months it can lead to liberation and awakening. So generally the time period that Varahi is traditionally practiced for is in this situation of strict retreat over a period of 6 months. So there are actually different ways of practicing Varahi. So practicing based on time is this time period of 6 months in retreat. Practicing according to based on signs is practicing until you get really clear signs. Practicing based on numbers or accumulations is 1,100,000 accumulations. There are also actually different versions of Varahi that also appear in different colors, and these correspond with working or their methods to work on whatever affliction is most prominent. So for instance, if the affliction of mental darkness is most prominent, then one can practice white Varahi, the form of Varahi that is white in color. If the affliction of attachment is strongest, then one can practice red Varahi. If the affliction of anger is most predominant, then one can practice blue Varahi. If the affliction of arrogance is most prominent, one can practice yellow Varahi. If the affliction of jealousy is most prominent, one can practice green Varahi. Miji. So Jimba Matorwa or Mare.
Milam se wan res miji wan troji chi la bro.
Ah.
Tene remni to nyamla ya tambo wan tipo re zong do. Wan se na de ge jong to pa chima dong chu. Drobya so nupan dong ja tobya tela. 당보 왕코르토 그래서 조작 뉴판 소소도 준조 토비아데 我在网课我他妈送那句他说切呀这的是去马去南这个人种差不多你那当俺说网托们用的有嘛是吧这期真的就当网写了当个做龙写了有了网龙气写了个是吧网写了他是说说咱们去呀网的这个钱啥的气写那旁气就是的咱的就这是气吧是吧남가 마시나 남가 치시는 롱선의 잘라서 롱타 잡이 송비는
롱
어다
양차
잘라서 롱타 잡 송비바 롱 저 탁과 잡나 송나 롱타라고 그러
오케이
롱타 하고도
배나 고바도
근데 일단 잘라서 탁과 잡 송디나 롱라고 돼 배창도 가유나 있는데 롱라고 롱정 돼 단데
네 야 handle
지사도
so there are also, in order, as is the case with any Vajrayana or secret mantra practice, there are the different necessary conditions for initiation into the practice. And so these are the ripening empowerment, the liberating teachings, and the transmission. And so the empowerment is also, what kind of clears away obstacles, and literally, as the word itself connotes, empowers one, or sort of infuses one with the energy or power to engage in the practice. And so without the empowerment, then there isn't any real sustenance or substance to the practice. So it's necessary to have received the empowerment. And so this is, these three, empowerment is, as the word itself sounds, it's that which lends or gives power, infuses the practice with power. And the teaching, so the word itself means like to lead or to guide. And so it is the teachings that kind of guide one or lead one in the right direction. And then the long or transmission also kind of literally has this meaning of like a handle or a string that is what kind of causes, it sounds like, you to like really get a hold of, in the way that like you hold the stream of transmission through transmission.
전에 당가랑소티 다왕군이 로봉당 천이 된다. 세전들람도 다 지동 로봉난 천이 되고 로마난 천이 되고 그러와. 다 지동지나 다 라망갑 취세 배저지 요서와. 어디나라 다 대신들라 로조된 덴바 덴보요바. 투와 전시신 투와요바. 대 로조된데. 좀로와.
데 로마
라마자. 전에 소바당 덴바. 장보有吧 요즘이 봐. 초로 나 내추정 시에 봐. 주에서 내추 시에 봐. 나의 주에서 내추 시. 지로 닝체 당된 봐. 심지어 제와 요 봐. 我电球可以怕有吧 我到底就唱过的是
데 닝제 제라 가레 케파
电球这种可以怕有吧
텐주
我他做我的就是唱过的是 我听着那么多我听对大家罗马人呢他拿一单词你唱过去的但是台巴的尊重的忙不有了我这说当天人们尊重有呀我听着过去的我大家都听着的他的可当地 王国提过是吧王国青年的听着的王国春天的他听着过去的 我这里罗马街头自己开始南开始给吧街头其他沙漠通了古庙搞吧那么的开发点吧军电光桥中的确保了中央永天点吧过来也是他等着难多我他这期这么拉上这是的
데 왕압 추바
라망압 추세
라망압 추
라망압 추세 이제 와
라망압 추 So there, when entering into the practice of secret mantra, through receiving these three: empowerment, transmission, and teaching, and engaging in the practice, it's necessary to rely upon a qualified spiritual teacher, and it's also necessary that the student, the disciple, also be disciples with the necessary characteristics, or kind of qualified teacher, qualified students, or qualified disciples. And so in the 50 lamas, yeah, so this text called 50 lamas, or something, Lama Ngapchu, it says that the teacher should be stable, they should be tame or subdued, they should be intelligent, they should have patience, they should be honest, they should be free of any deceit. They should understand mantra well, understand tantra, and be able to explain tantra. They should have genuine compassion and love. They should be knowledgeable in scripture. So these are the 10 characteristics or qualities that should be possessed by a qualified spiritual teacher. And there are many qualities that are listed for the students. Among these are, for instance, they should be diligent, they should have faith, they should be they should be virtuous or wholesome in conduct. They should, have kind of continuously make offerings to the three jewels. They should be always respectful to the spiritual teacher, respectful to the three jewels, and so on and so forth. There are many qualities that are listed.
Chechu no tala demcho kanro nyeju cho derba yi song ne da cho wo de ji yi song de ne demcho la Drupchö khaji demcho la Drupchö zani kwang la juk som la
Drupchö tsani
Drupchö la ni
dini
la juk som la nga de demcho la je ti wang de so dün chong jing ko len wang ko res.
So kung tapen naro tilo naro or
naro marbalas
marbala.
Tene tada pangmo la jurunga dorje pangmo la jurunga la dun la nga lenje ma da teso ne sindore jin ko la de ne wa ko res tene la manaro kteri go song to jin ko la de ne da ka ma te na res go song to chenap china da ka ma te tene demcho kan ro ne juk samna chasen churu teso chena te na res tene ti marba ji chu mala re pa na mele ta ko ro bo che de wa te ko re res chena ni ma gambo ba ni ma ma bu hyo sarwa wa je tong wa ni ma to ko chu res ko chu res ina ga zo ji ba ni chen ha chen de sang mixing da ze han ko na te wa ko res on te ta ko ro bo che wa ta te res.
So these tantras, these practices that have been maintained from generation to generation through the unbroken continuity of lineage. First, when they were bestowed, for instance, by Naropa to given to Marpa, so he gave him, for instance, or opened the mandala of the practice of chakra sambhara, giving him all of the different forms of mandalas, the 62 deity chakra sambhara, the 13 deity chakra sambhara, the 5 deity chakra sambhara, and the co-emergent chakra sambhara. Likewise, with a mandala of Sindura, he bestowed the 15 deity Varahi, the 7 deity Varahi, the 5 deity Varahi, and the co-emergent Varahi. And so bestowing him with the blessings of enlightened body, speech, and mind, he gave the empowerment through the symbol empowerment, the method of symbol empowerment. And then Marpa also then gave these empowerments to Milarepa, and Milarepa likewise gave these empowerments to Gampopa. And when Gampopa received these empowerments from Milarepa, he had received many empowerments previously to this, but he said after receiving these empowerments from Milarepa that now he understood the meaning of all those empowerments that he received before. Like he had understood them, but then he really truly understood the meaning once he had received empowerment from Milarepa.
근데 다 감보바 테 오다 대송 스타트 테 감보바 가서 치료이다 보세 제량 공야도 콜로단 말이스 나냥이다 보세 제량 공야 지바도지 대성완다 냥 차정도 타만정 라고라세 타만정
Mai kong ta chi lu korlo domba.
나한테 제량 지바도지 성완다 냥차 생ing차 타만정 라고라세 지주도지 내죠 말이스 와 텐주 정도.
And so Gampopa said that outwardly the body is chakra samvara. Inwardly he is Hevadra, and secretly is the heart, like the heart blood or heart essence, the innermost heart essence is Vajravarahi.
되네 다 가서 지지네 나바테 다 가서 동생을 나오라다 가서 나바테 다 나바테 처지 치인다 와 처지 치인다 데 가라나 다 제렘데 조그램티 이제 저모도 바타 산둘 대송을 산제 남지 초된 바 산제 초종 켜도 여러 봐 데 른바니라 양다네스 른바니라 양다네 른바니네 요레스 지바이네 른바통 디기 조베 른바니 토스
Okay.
제비 른바통 른바니 양타바네 요레스 와 데 산제 초된 혈레 른바니 네 요레스 데 지베 른바다 조베 른바니 요레스 송어레스 상만되면 대류 저지기 남제도니 있어다 데려와 특가르에서는 타메이크 남토 정체 말랑선 타메이크 나게 될 때에는 다들 자다모서 뭐 스타면 나게 될 때는 용표로 와 어때 봐줘야 제량 라브레스다
So gongda sangdula de pena sanje ge chu tamche denang la du yore rimni.
다 상제 초대야 요라 송요로 와 송두 텔레 rem바니 대야 요레스다 저 근데 rem니 rem바니 대야 요레스
So then there are the teachings which liberate, and the practice, the practice of secret mantra, deity, yoga, consists of these two categories, the generation stage and the completion stage. So in the Guhya Samaja, it says that the Buddha taught in elucidating the two stages, perfectly elucidating the two stages, that being that of the generation stage and the completion stage. And so it is, these two are the path that in secret mantra that primarily lead to liberation and full awakening. So the generation stage is that which overcomes the habit of dualistic grasping and ordinary concepts. So the ordinary experience of, being an ordinary being is kind of based on this constant arising of attachment and aversion. And so through practicing the generation stage, we overcome those habits of dualistic grasping and attachment and aversion through instead experiencing the pure phenomena of the deity.
어디나 담보 가서는 남의 저와 도저히 담보 제량티 소주리알라 조마이는 공부해서 조마 진다 공부해서 담보 공 맞춰 봐 이런 거 말아 가나서 저자 저당 무슨 다 담에 나게 흉침 보셔요. 어디 담보 조마 치고 조마이는 나다 그래서 다 공나 我真的考虑做空那这嘛就把说自己是那是他下头不要太说了。
And so in the Vajrayogini Tantra, it says that first, when practicing the generation stage, it's necessary to kind of fabricate. So we fabricate the the visualization, the meditation. We have to fabricate it first because, or make effort essentially, because without that, our habits of attachment and aversion are so strong that it can't just arise naturally. So first, as we recite the mantra, we have to fabricate. Then little by little, what happens is it becomes unfabricated, it becomes natural, and naturally the form of the deity shines forth.
当然说，大家的年来起下这是吧？听工作当我也接受有的是，唐伯听工作是有吧？工作的他在原先年个别才学了年来起过，就是他这这趟忙起来了，原本年个吧，原本呢，那么这边有几这边有几就是说都过的也是，这边有几可以都过去，那叫多次的过去了，他在那就去不拉说吧，他只是过去了吧？我他唐伯他个我先多次请他，那就多次当，确保请他，确实多嘛，确实了把多嘛当样，多嘛不吧？但是中国人不样，我真的讲不着生气，这里让钱碰他们进去，钱一那边。
为中国当。
讲不着生气，我真的碰他们，碰他们碰过的看，确保请他，确实了多嘛不样的说，这里中国人这里。讲着生气的哇，这里在碰刚的他过面中多，这里都是sem过的中多，他他说这是温柔学啥的哇。
So then with the practice, so it is said that, when generally doing the practice, it's important, for instance, when doing in solitude, to go to a secluded place, to be in a private, secluded place, and to have all of the necessary implements and different kind of materials that are needed for the practice. So for instance, a kapala, dutsi, vajra, bell, damaru, and so on and so forth. And that, and then you go through the preliminaries. So there's the preliminaries and the actual or the main practice. So the preliminaries include, for instance, blessing the nectar, blessing the offerings, making the offering of the preliminary torma, establishing the sphere of protection, taking refuge and generating bodhicitta, transforming or purifying the elements and constituents of the body, and visualizing Vajrasattva, practicing the Haruka Vajrasattva, which is, these all fall into the category of the preliminaries. So on page 2 of the text. Garigirang Shintamchela.
Pongkam Jenchi to the Lad and Lamok Rangiris in Don Troppers. In that thing also the Tamen Nime Pacha Marek Battle Diana to go shades of your Marais. Then go shade out the young Gombo. That's all shade up. Tango shade up there. Chigo Jores and Don the young ropes.
So we have the very first line here, which says, "In a single instant, I vividly arise, I vividly transform into the enlightened body of exalted Vajrayogini." So here there are the different types of generating the form of the deity, and so this is the instantaneous arising, the form of the instantaneous generation, where we instantaneously arise in the complete form of the deity. Actually, this is very profound, because Lord Jigten Sumgön says that of all of the different types of the arising of the deity's form, the most profound, the most kind of powerful or profound is that of the instantaneous arising. And so actually, really, the enlightened form of the deity is spontaneously, primordially accomplished. Because we don't recognize that, then we have to go through these stages of actively generating ourselves in the form of the deity. But the reality of the fact is that is actually our true nature. So all of the aggregates, the elements, the constituents of the body are actually pure. They're the nature of the pure male and female deities. But not recognizing that, we see ourselves as ordinary beings, or we see ourselves in ordinary form, and so therefore it is necessary to have this, to go through the stages of arising. In this case, it is single arising, instantaneous arising in the form of the deity.
다 담보도 금도 레 라원데 잠도 당제 티아스 공한 등 말스. 담보 공에 제 거소 세우 제 고 다천수장 레장 멤버스 공도 청전에서 차람나. 저도 공통나 개치고 기계치고 그랬을 공나 마음바 모투트를 공토야 팽게레스. 담보 공다 단직사 잠들스 시하나. 대시라 세 챕터가 알까레하고 그랬어. 다 파스 시라 공도 제가 더 나치 보면 봐. 나오라. 다 전주치고 다 내가도 다 도전내죠 마다 기계 지수 도전내죠 마세와 초지도 라니 도전내죠 마. 다 루베지안 티게 지안데레. 다 제고 더 토바 가장카 요래. 샤합니다. 야 샤합니다. 제 여러 가지 가탑스 라브가 샤합제 공제 이거 같이 토가 다 토론에서 다 제차요 봐. 다 나타에서 파해요 봐. 지안송 뭐래. 어차피 잡도 줘야 대체로 쇼들에 사장 사건 가자스 거래스. 그 생각자 된 바티나나 다 도세다. 줘봐. 오늘 dorma. 와서서 진합치 거래스다. 와서 카스나 대 맞이나 타메케 제 지네 랑타마 제게 진합치 누구 말했을 때는 상보. 어서 샤레스. 지는 거야.
So when we recite this very first line, it's important not to kind of overlook it and think that the generation stage is really coming later. So it's really important to first have a very clear visualization of ourselves in the form of the deity, to when we instantaneously arise, that is a very clear, vivid visualization of the deity, because if we do this, then later it will be easier when we go through the step-by-step stages of the deity. It'll be easier to really clearly visualize or arise in the form of the deity. Whereas if we don't really take the time to clearly visualize the deity at the beginning, and don't pay much attention to that, it actually then makes it harder later in the sadhana or in the practice to maintain clear visualization. And so we arise, instant in a single moment in the form of Vajrayogini, with all of the attributes, the ornaments, the bone ornaments, the garland of freshly severed heads, the katavanga, the hand implements. Half of her hair is bound in a top knot, and the other half is hanging loosely or hanging loose. She has the crown of 5 dried skulls, and so on. And so when we think, I am Vajrayogini, it's important to have the divine pride, to rely on the real confidence in our true nature as being that of the deity. And then if in this first stage of instantaneously arising in the enlightened form of the deity, then we go through the different steps of the preliminaries, blessing the nectar, blessing the offerings, blessing the torma, and so forth. And so being the deity, when these consecrations, when these blessings happen, then it really lends real power. It gives power to that act of blessing these substances. Whereas if we're in our ordinary form, then there isn't any real power there. We can't really bless the substances as an ordinary being. We have to be the deity to bless them. And so the first thing we have here is the blessing of the inner offering, which is the nectar, the dutsi. And so with first, so you visualize the kapala, that is the actual kapala, actually to be really vast and expansive, a great kapala in the space, filling space or in the sky in front. And then as we recite this mantra, Om Kanda Roe Hong Hong Pe, so we're visualizing that from ourselves as Vajrayogini and from our heart center, these emanations of Kanda Rohe, which are Dumchima, emanate from our heart, and they're red. She's red in color, really pretty much identical in form almost to Vajrayogini, and we can visualize that these radiate out from the heart and they banish all of the impurities, all of the obstacles, all of the harmful influences. The impurities and harmful influence are sort of scattered to a very far away place. So all of those defilements and impurities are completely banished or swept away by the activity of these red dakinis, Kandarohe or Dumchima. And then the deities, these wrathful dakinis, dissolve again into your heart center, and as they dissolve into your heart center, then the meditative absorption, that is the union of bliss and emptiness, arises or pervades your body.
Om Subhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Subhava Shuddha Hong Salambo. Or did that on Yin Nambar Taba? Subhava Shuddha said Ranji Nambar Taba, which was a Chutamchi Ranji Nambar Taba, Ranji Nambar Taba, Chutamchi Dharmas and Churwate, Ranjinda. The Ngao Setita, Ngao and Rangajanda say Sarva. Or then the Karsana, Tata to Dutsu Chasa Kabbalah, the Yorwa. What a Memeba, Patomba, Johnson. That he on this Yamnagang Shane, Yamnagan, long Sam the Deva, dear Sombega. They don't even got any song. Juicy Yaban Shago Shosarwa. Or the Chana didn't make no again to John to Yata. Madati, Tarita, Madak, need Tambat, Madaba. That was Madaba, Mogo, Suzila, so Madak, Tizopa, near got John to Yata. what the pension.
And so then we have the recitation of the mantra Om Swabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Swabhava Shuddho Hang. And so what this means, Om Swabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma, for instance, means all phenomena. So what this is pointing to is the innate purity, the innate emptiness of all phenomena. And so what we're saying is all phenomena are primordially the nature of emptiness, and I am also that nature. And so when we recite this mantra, then what we're doing is reminding ourselves of the inherent empty essence. And so the Kapala and the contents of the Kapala become, they're transformed into their empty essence. They become non-referential, and the nature of emptiness, and which also then in context of the practice, the winds and the mind as an indivisibility with the recognition of the empty essence becomes the experience of great bliss. And so again, this has this function of purifying, grasping to ordinary existence, grasping to true existence, so that we understand we see the empty nature of all phenomena, which is inherently pure, the pure empty essence. And so this is what we're establishing with the recitation of the mantra. And so mainly also, so what we're doing is we're physically or externally, we're blessing the outer substances. So the outer substances are transformed into the pure empty essence. But inwardly, we're purifying our mind of, the habits of attachment and aversion. So inwardly, we're resting in the state of non-referential awareness without getting caught or without kind of following after the ordinary discursiveness of attachment and aversion. Oh yeah. So we say, from within the state of emptiness, a top, wind, fire, and a hearth of skulls. So first we have wind, and wind appears in the form of a bow. So the curve of the bow is facing us, and then there are the 2 points of the bow. It's kind of like a half moon actually, and at the corners of each of the each of the corners are fans, sort of like bellows, so this is the symbol which represents the element of wind. And then on top of that, we have a 3-pointed triangle with the point facing us, and then that is the nature of fire, this red triangle. And in the corners of each of the triangle, there are 3 skulls. And so from the 3 skulls also then this becomes from at the corners of the triangle are the syllables Om, Ah, Hung. And then you have the hearth, which are also 3 skulls, triangular skulls, marked by the syllables Om, Ah, Hung. And then on top of that, the hearth, you have the skull cup. And the skull cup is really vast, filling up the entire sky. And it is endowed with qualities, so a skull cup bearing qualities. So that means that, and the word in Tibetan is banda, actually here. So banda is it's the Sanskrit word for skull cup. Or it's a Sanskrit word for skull cup. Obviously, I guess different from kapaladang. Yeah, so it's it has, so when it says it's bearing qualities, what this is mainly referring to, he said, is that it's like one full skull piece without any cracks. So often when you have a skull, there are like 3 cracks, or there's some cracks, and he pointed to, this skull cup that he has, which has marks, which are to symbolize, cracks. But really, like this skull cup is one full piece without any cracks, and the dunda che yore sungime de sin mare de penat sangba che yamba ge. Oh yeah. So it's again, the indivisibility of bliss and emptiness, which is represented with that, and likewise the outside being white and the inside is red. This also represents the indivisibility of bliss and emptiness.
Tene ta rang kin na wo yong pa ta sha nga du nga yo wa ti na ga ba li na wo te rang kin na wo yong pa ne hong long hong ki chen fa chu ne long hong ki chen chu hong du tene ta ti long pa po long jing ko ta la po long jing ko ta hu yi chen je yo wa wo te po ne tene fa dian ni yo wa yi yong fa dian ni po long ya ma zhong lu ya ne te me ya ba wo te to bi na ze nam song ma da ya ku ne kuirwa kune te madak jong tamji ze boba ze yoro boba ya ko ra ja bobek namba boba se gang ze ka zang ko pi zu ga boba do zam da boba la bra
Ah yeah.
ho te ten dong namba chi ne che shi lo tong song zam da ba
Yeah.
ho da boba zo te yuan sa le ho te ne da de te de oma a wong song yo ba chi oma a wong song chi 我这里我这样做呢，这呢，提前也把他们去突然的一些就是效果呢，但是他们这都是有了，我在这上一面这些松上，真的一些都是加钱不，新多样没嘞，中厕所开始是，long进了的，那就全部配上忙不有了，就是，这些开始long进了，这上面装多样没嘞，这是从松上真的。他有些都是讲错起嘛，这接了我们阿红现在他说这两多卡接杠在下，接杠下呢， lapa yung be klang ne tipsi sen te mo da sin la la bra sin la sen de ro te mo de ro de la ne te rang jie to la sha ne wo te sa pa mi ba yi xie ji de wei ta lu kang song sam wo ta chen de sam dang de xiao ta ten te xi xiang na ma de
So I still have a little bit from what he said before that I didn't finish. So the skull cup also is pointing, the forehead is facing toward oneself. And again, this skull cup is immensely vast. We can think of it just being immensely vast, filling up the entirety of space or filling up the sky. And so then inside the skull cup, we have the 5 meats and the 5 nectars. And we don't have to get into each and every one right now. We don't have a ton of time. But normally, these are what we would ordinarily consider to be unclean or impure substances. And part of why we use or think of the 5 meats and the 5 nectars as being such is to cut through the concepts of subject-object dualistic fixation. So then we visualize that from the nostril, nipa or
no
yompa. So from the left nostril, hum comes out, and then this causes the wind. It like carries the energy of wind, which then causes the fans or the bellows to flap. And then this causes the fire to blaze, and then it causes all of the substances in this vast skull cup to melt and boil. And as it melts and boils, you can think of it like rapidly boiling, and then it becomes like frothy. And there's foam. It produces this sort of foam that boils over. The foam boils over and separates. So it's like separating what is pure from the impurity. So the foam kind of falls off or falls away, and then the primordial wisdom nectar becomes really completely pure. And then we taste, and so then as this nectar becomes like the nature of primordial wisdom, like light rays, it sends out. So there's the Om Hung stacked above the skull cup, and from these then light rays stream out and summons the primordial wisdom nectar from all of the like enlightened ones in the 10 directions, and then that comes back, dissolves into the 3 syllables, which then dissolve into the nectar in the skull cup, and then it becomes like abundant and inexhaustible and enjoyed by all of the limitless guests that it is offered to. And so as we bless, or once we have blessed the nectar, then we taste the nectar. So with the ring finger of our left hand, we take a little drop of nectar and drop it on our tongue, or touch our tongue. And so then as we taste the nectar, we give rise to the undefiled bliss of primordial wisdom.
我在这里面地上呢，这几趟他俺让说的，下俺就是俺时间多，就说这娘俩去要过去呢，这人啊养啊，一些俺拉说吧，就说吃好些吧，别强了，真的香啊，他可是现在我的是，他可是现在我的也可能去，都是俺写到可能去这里，是的都养可能去。 我听到的那个，但一些啊，可能以前的觉得特别，但都呢，也加把人啊，那点听着啥，我听说，但马大把讲呢，这女朋友呢，得讲他把，加把人啊来说，我听讲特别，听着有啥哇，我在听的是哇。
So the 5 meats and the 5 nectars also are, so the 5 meats are the nature of the 5 Buddha families, and the 5 nectars are the nature of the 5 female Buddhas. So the meats then are also likewise the method, the aspect of method, and the nectars are the aspect of wisdom. And so when they are transformed, they become the nature of the five wisdoms. And so in that way, they actually represent, or they contain the wisdoms of the five Buddha families, of the five male. So they are, in essence, the five male and the five female Buddhas.
Okay.
Okay, so
Today, teaching this. Okay.
yeah, so that's enough for today.
Can I have a question?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Okay. After me.
On the recite the mantras here, at the 20, the page is at 27. We're saying the I'll stop it here and the one Vajrayogini in the level here. And when we recite the mantra, the palm the mantra is in the inside the Vajrayogini, the level one is in the heart or in the level.
Never check yourself. Don't do yourself.
In the navel.
Yeah, never.
Very clearly appear. But it's going counterclockwise. Oh, dini dinda dawo ribe yangna dinda dawo. Yeah, no, it is. It's horizontal. Is that right? Yeah, it's like that on a seat. So if you think like that, there's a seat. It's like on the seat. It's like perpendicular to the seat. No, the mantra.
The mantra.
Yeah, the mantra. Seat syllables standing.
Like
The
on
bomb.
your prayer wheel.
The bam rang langirwa. So the bomb is standing, and the mantra garland is circling the bomb, like so. Facing upward.
Like the letters are facing up because they're down flat. Is that one?
That's not how I see it, but he said whatever works, whatever is the easiest to maintain clear. Yeah, but I think they're standing. I think all the letters are standing. La? Yeah, so some like there's some talk about, you know, whether to visualize them as English letters or Tibetan letters, and some say it's actually important to visualize them in their Tibetan form, because, you know, originally these mantras were Sanskrit, right? But they hold the, you know, the direct kind of Sanskrit nature, the Tibetan version of the Sanskrit, which the Tibetan version. Because Tibetan and Sanskrit are very similar. Tibetan is based on the Sanskrit alphabet. So he said, maybe he thought you were saying this. Yeah, he said, whatever is easiest for you, though, you know, you can visualize in that way. Huh? So however you've like habituated, you know, whatever you've already familiarized yourself with, you can also just do that.
Okay,
so we'll do a little bit of mantra recitation. Om, 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 Sarva Buddha
Nó sẽ giúp chúng ta thanh tịnh hóa được tất cả những cái che chứa những cái
Sarva Buddha Sarvam
Zoha. Sarva Buddha Dakineya Vajrayogini
Recording stopped.
Sarva Buddha Dakineya Bhajavananiya Bhajraberotaniya Om 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 Be 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 Zoha Om 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 Sarva Buddha Dakineya Bhajavananiya Bhajraberotaniya Om 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 Be 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 Zoha Om 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 Sarva Buddha Dakineya Bhajavananiya Bhajraberotaniya Om 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 Be 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 Zoha Om 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 Sarva Buddha Dakineya
From the bomb light radiates and the outer world and contents melt to light, which is absorbed into my body. I dissolve from the bottom and top into light, which dissolves into bomb. The body of the bomb then dissolves into its head and its crescent moon, then into the tigle and nada, which becomes luminous emptiness.
Once again clearly with one face and two arms in the illusion-like form of Vajrayogini I arise.
One can double heaven be one Subhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Subhava Shuddha.
From within the state of emptiness, Atab Windbar and a hearth of skulls is a skull comparing qualities, red inside with white exterior. Therein from Mupira, Shu and Ma arise the five ambrosial nectars from Nagokuha and appear five meats which they mark, and the wind stirs, fanning the flames which intensify, causing the contents to melt and boil. From the three syllables light rays stream, drawing in divine wisdom nectar. Through this Samaya and wisdom merge, and the nectar becomes a vast sea. Pam Kagulamas Yidam deities of the four tantras, especially Vajrayogini and all the rest, emanations and the multitudes of secondary emanations, all the five classes of Dakinis. I invite these guests to the Torma. Om Benza Arade Hoza Hom Bam Zavasakini Samaya Sitam Dishaya Om Benza Arade Hoza Hom Bam Banza Jakini Samaya Sadam Dishaya Om Benza Arale Hom Zahom Babo Banza Jakini Samaya Sadam Dishaya. All the guests have Vajra tongues of light, through which they draw nectar and enjoy. Om Guru Deva Savam Buddham Dakini Sabare Vare Edam Balinda Kakakaye Kaye. Om Guru Deva Savam Buddham Dakini Sabare Vare Edam Balinda Kakakaye Kaye. Om Guru Deva Sarvam Buddha Dakini Sabare Vare Edam Balinda Kakakaye Kaye. Om Sarvata Tangatam Banzavarahe Apare Vare Argan Bade Bhuve Bhuve Aloge Gande Nivede Shada.
All thoughts none remaining are conquered, becoming great compassion's display, thus achieving all beings' benefit. To Sri Vajravarahi I bow.
Page 34. O mere banza heruga samaya manu balaya banza heruga dinu bara de chadre do me bawa sudo kayo me bawa sunura to me bawa sudo kayo me bawa Sarvase de me ba Zarva Gama Suzame Zedam Heyam Guru Ha Magala Banza Heruga Mamenuze Heruga Govana Samaya Sadhu Om Yoga Shuddha Sarva Dharma Yoga Shuddha. Page 35,
last line. The wisdom beings dissolve into me.
Om PJ 43. 43, this choice. I don't know.
43 or 44 or 45.
Om Benza Vara His Argan Biding Guve Guve Aluge Ngande Nevede Shaba.
Okay, English. The glorious Vajrayogini, universal queen of skyfarers, embodiment of the five wisdoms and three kayas, you who protect beings, I pay homage and extol your praise. The reliability of the deity and truth of Samaya, and the supreme authenticity of the words of her enlightened speech. By the power of these truths may I be held in your care, Supreme Goddess. May there be true plentiful well-being, no sickness and wholesomeness of mind. May we perfectly reach our desires, liberation and the like, and may abundant excellence be attained.
Yeah, okay. Tereng around so the that's yours, what? That the Guzamon and launch without it, here, to the Chirulana, that around so Jenna Simon and Institute Donshana. 30 True.
32. Okay, so today is a lunar eclipse, and so it's good to actually recite the prayer of Kundun Zangpo, but we don't have that right now. So in the afternoon we'll do that, but right now we can recite in English the Avalokiteshvara prayer, which is on page 26.
말에 32.
Or 32, sorry.
네, 맞잖아.
Oh, 32, okay.
야, that's all.
Namo Lokeshvaraya, the wisdom and love of all three times Sugatas combined, the Nirmana Kaya, blessed by Amitabha, you with perfect aspirations, deeds, and compassion, together with your Bodhisattva and Arhat disciples, the Yidams and Dharma protectors, all you supreme refuge jewels who assemble with compassion for all sentient beings, you worthy recipients of offerings, appearing in the forms as many as there are atoms in all the realms, ensure the fulfillment of my noble aspiration. Myself and those near, my retinue, students, patrons, and all others who have faith in me, alive or deceased, those who have placed their trust in me, yearning for freedom and seeking well-being, and who thus have honored and served me in unfathomable ways, those who made 4 kinds of offerings and loaned me land and dwellings, servants who were bound to supply me food, clothing and drink, and who attended my 3 doors, those who offered meat dishes, who killed so I could live, and who have plundered and robbed to fulfill my desires, friends who have helped me, obstructors who have harmed me, those who have seen me, heard me, remembered me, or touched me, in particular my parents and anyone I am connected to in various ways, all the beings of the 3 realms of existence. When life comes to an end and we go into the presence of the Lord of Death, nothing will help us, and we will experience great regret for our sinful deeds. At this time, may we recognize the visions of the bardo as illusions. Please turn back the hindrance of the fact of transition and be our escort in the transference of consciousness. Chenra Zik. After death, the visions of the bardo may appear. When these projections manifest as hostile enemies, be our constant guide, like a staff that evens out a crooked path. Chenra Zik. Driven by attachment and aversion, we see the lower states as something good. When we gravitate to these projections, close the door to evil states and to the world of Rakshasis. Endow us with the precious jewel of human birth, Chenra Zik. Some boil and burn and house and suffer heat and cold for many eons in excruciating fires. Let fall the water of solicitude and the soft rain of compassion. Please put out the flames of hatred, Chenra Zik. Some are destitute of food and drink in the realm of hungry ghosts. Their food turns into fire or is blocked by weapons. Satisfy them with a loving stream of plenty flowing from your palms, and with your fingers ease their knots of greed. Chenra Zik. In the realm of animals, some eat each other, some are overworked, and some are slaughtered for their flesh and skin. They are bewildered in the gloom of ignorance. Shine your light upon the shrouds of darkness with the torch of wisdom. Chenra Zik. Some in the realm of jealous gods always fight and suffer helplessly in battle. Block the winds of jealousy with the shading mountain of equanimity. Chenra Zik. Some are in the realm of gods, distracted by delightful pleasures. Oblivious to the passing years, they die and fall. Free them from the ocean of desire with the wondrous ship of your compassion. Chenra Zik. Human beings are drifting in the sea of the three sufferings, are swept away by the four streams of birth, old age, disease, and death. These humans dancing on the troubled waves of dualistic grasping, steer them with the hook of your compassion, Chenrezig. Self-grasping, the parent that gives birth to children wrapped tightly in the armor suit of dualistic grasping. From this appears a demon army, hurling weapons of the five poisonous afflictions. Turn these legions to the Dharma, Chenrezig. Like a fly attracted to filth, some see samsara as a happy place, and there they fabricate unending suffering with body, speech, and mind. Restrain these meaningless activities, Chenrezig. May they attain the body capable of Dharma and attend supreme, authentic spiritual friends. May they respect these teachers and make offerings to them. May their minds mature through their Guru's instructions, and with all their heart let them see the Guru as an actual Buddha, Chenrezig. Having understood all the teachings of relative and actual truth, through hearing, having actualized the samadhi of calm abiding and insight, through contemplation, and having realized the boundless view beyond extremes through meditation, may them meet the mother mind itself, Chenrezig. Renunciation plants the seed of discipline. Bursting into bloom, it grows into the altruistic mind of bodhicitta, from which appears the brilliant blossoms of the secret mantras, generation and completion. Cause the fruit of the higher trainings to develop, Chenrezig. May they follow perfectly, knowing what to cultivate and what to avoid. May they amass the two accumulations and undertake the six perfections instead of feeding hopes and expectations of the 8 mundane concerns. Cut the tight ropes of attachment, Chenrezig. Having exhausted all embellished notions of the bhumis and paths, let these beings fully manifest the state of Buddhas, who have abandoned all mistakes and are endowed with perfect qualities. Then, as Nirmanakayas, let them spontaneously fulfill the benefit of others, Chenrezig. Whoever I am connected to, either through good or bad relations, and in particular my parents, may I not attain enlightenment myself until they do. Let me benefit them like you do, Chenrezig. Through ignorance they go astray. These beings tormented by suffering are so difficult to tame. To tame those who could not be tamed by the Buddhas of the past, let my bodhicitta outshine even that of the 3 times Buddhas, Chenrezig. Realizing that through my own small suffering I can redeem the myriad suffering of others, let me offer sentient beings all my virtue and prosperity, and in order to bring benefit to them, let me have the courage to even offer them my life, Chenrezig, with a mind of steadfast equanimity for all, whether better, worse, or average, even those who engage in noxious deeds with hostile minds, and those who, like venomous snakes, are bent on harming others, either flagrantly or secretly. Let me purify their karma and free them perfectly, Chenrezig. May we always think only of the well-being of others, and for even just a single moment, may thoughts of our own salvation not arise. When immoral thoughts that conflict with the teachings do arise, bring them to a state endowed with Dharma, Chenrezig. By the power of the goodness of the pure expanse of Dharma Dhatu, by the undeceiving triple gem, by the holy stages, the force of the highest intention, and by the power of all the virtues in samsara and nirvana, please fulfill these genuine prayers swiftly, Chenrezig. In all lifetimes, may the glorious Guru and the Supreme Lotus Holder, the Sugata of the 3 times, beings, protect us with compassion. Cause the swift fulfillment of these aspirations. Chenra Zik.
OK. Launch.
Did you know?
出可能Chicago Gym.
So we'll reconvene at 2 p.m. Chicago time. Actually, I have something I want to say because based on Cindy's question, I realized that the translation is kind of confusing, where it says clearly appearing as Vajrayogini. So we're clearly appearing as Vajrayogini. It's not that Vajrayogini is appearing in our navel. Do you get that? Because you said Vajrayogini in our navel. It looks like that. I didn't realize until you said that. It kind of looks like that. But it clearly appearing as Vajrayogini, we're Vajrayogini. And what's in our table is the palm and then the lotus and then the bomb.
No, not another Vajrayogini.
No. Sorry.
This afternoon, question answer this afternoon? There's some people wrote.
Oh yeah, a couple of hours. If anyone thinks of a better way to say that with the versification, let me know.
Can you tell them?
Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
So we'll be back this afternoon at 2, and we'll have some questions.